Third time's
we
charm.
are. Welcome into the Bantorius. It's called the Banter. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Please don't. Please don't.
Don't bring Aureus back. Aureus is done, so don't bring Aureus
leave the
back.
Aureus.
It'll never be done.
I think before we get into this episode, we should just go ahead and say, all of you listeners and all of you viewers, no matter where you're listening from or viewing from, go over to YouTube and go to this video. If you're already watching this video, hello, welcome. If you're listening to this somewhere else, come over to this video, type down in the comments, and let us know what it is that you want to hear us discuss. It could be hypothetical situations, business ideas, ranking lists, all that different stuff. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about, because we would really love. We can banter about any topic, but it'd be helpful if you guys just gave us topics you want to hear us bant about. So go ahead and do that. Help us out, and next week I promise you we will talk about some of those topics.
Hit him with it. I've got a fun fact.
Oh.
I wanted to kick things off with a fun
Let's
fact
go.
today. Maybe everybody should start bringing a fun fact. That might be like a banter ritual. It's like you need to bring that, like show and tell. Here's my fun fact. Wombats are the only animal whose poop is cube-shaped. This is
cube-shaped?
Yep. This is due to how its intestines form the feces. The animals then stack the cubes to mark their territory. They're playing Minecraft with their poop.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. That was a bit of an exaggeration, what I just said. But that's pretty crazy.
Was that not the most amazing thing you've ever heard?
It might be, honestly. Cube-shaped poop?
I mean, it's pretty electric. I don't know, like, you can stack
I have to look up a picture of it.
Well, I don't need to see that picture.
Wombat poop.
Wombat poop.
We also could do, like on this day in history. So, like, a common thing you do in the military for, like, retirement or promotion ceremonies, you're like, okay, on this day in history, this is what happened. I'll give you one. Here's another fun fact. Spike Lee was born today.
Oh.
1957.
Dang.
How about it? I heard a lot about Spike Lee just because I used to watch SportsCenter and he was always at the Knicks games. But I don't really know much of what he directed.
Inside Man is probably my favorite movie of his. So it's got, Denzel's in like every movie Spike Lee does, but Inside Man is probably my favorite, about a bank heist.
Okay.
That has some twist on it. It's one to see. If you haven't seen Inside Man, it has some good twists.
I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. It's not like that cubey. But it's like pretty cubey.
I didn't like.
It looks like coal briquettes. That's the best way to. That's the best. It looks like charcoal.
That's like
briquettes.
a flattened oval.
That's what it looks. It looks like charcoal briquettes.
I like the word briquettes.
I do too. That's why I keep on saying it. I can't stop. But yeah, that's what they.
Is that a female version of a brick, or is it?
No, those are bricks that dance.
I did not mean that to be as negative as that sounded. By the way,
that is the. It's like this. It's like in Spanish. What is like the feminine? What do they call it? Like the feminine, like half of the language.
I think it's just
masculine.
masculine.
The masculine and feminine.
Yeah,
right. It's like that's what.
Ellen-law.
I think that I need a little bit more recognition for the fact that I said it's a brick that dances. Like the Rockets.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Thank you. Because like the Rockets are like rocks that dance.
Jason, did you ever look up and see if you have a birthday disc?
I did. It was quite embarrassing because I am very old. I did not have a birthday disc, but the only disc that I could find were Whammo discs.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
I am
old. We didn't even think about that. I bet you some of the comments probably got onto us for that. Like we isolated a lot of our audience.
The old fogies like myself, because there was nothing in.
We should have changed the rule.
Year.
We should just change the rule that if you're older than disc golf, then like the first year that disc golf discs like were being approved, that counts for your year.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Can I ask a question really quick?
Yeah.
So we were, me and Hunter entered into a conversation before this episode about volcanoes and dormant volcanoes or inactive volcanoes.
Yeah.
But I just want to know if you guys lived in a town that was centered around a volcano.
No, I wouldn't be there.
No. You lived in a town that was centered around a volcano. You do. Like that's
okay. All right, I'm there. I'm getting aboard.
And it begins to erupt.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Getting as far away as possible. What do you
How?
mean? My car.
We
have cars.
Wow, you guys are so smart. That's crazy.
I already have a go
Why
bag.
didn't
If
they
I lived in
do
a town
that
with
back
a
in the day?
potential volcano, I have my go bag.
Okay.
Ready to go.
You have a volcano bag?
I have a volcano bag.
I just wrap myself in a fire blanket.
I feel like if you lived in a town like right on a volcano and there was any suspicion that could one day erupt, people would probably have plans.
Yeah,
bunkers would exist.
According to the Crystal Skull, you can pretty much just hide in a refrigerator and you'll be able to survive anything.
Well,
I refer to it as the Crystal Skull. I refer to call it
Indiana Jones. And
I refuse to call it that.
Why?
I don't believe it. It's an Indiana Jones movie.
I've only watched it once, and that was
ruined
enough.
the franchise
That was
with
too
it.
many times.
It's not a
I've
good
never
movie.
even
It
seen
is
it.
It's not a very
good
bad movie.
That's one with Shia LaBeouf in it.
Yeah. Seeing Shia LaBeouf was the best part of that movie.
Oh, we got a Shia LaBeouf hater in the building. You're alone. You're alone.
Dude,
I mean,
Jason,
Holes. He topped out at Holes. So
do you
that's not true.
dislike him as an actor
That's
or
not
as a
true.
personality?
You
would have good reason for both.
Personality, he's okay. You know,
Okay.
he's an artist. How about that? So
Yeah, he's actually super super messed up.
Yeah,
But he's come around and like is now a good person.
he's a good actor, but he
now.
plays very similar versions of the same character, which is okay.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington does that a lot. Samuel Jackson does that a lot.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
does
Only
that a lot.
play,
I would say
Keanu
most
Reeves
actors
only
do that.
plays Keanu Reeves.
Right.
There's really only a handful of actors in Hollywood that haven't been typecasted because that's just how casting works. People talk about typecasting
Except
all
for
the time, and like
freaking Tom Hanks can play anybody.
Tom
Tom
Hanks
is a legitimate actor.
Yeah.
but he's and he's Tom Hanks, right? Like it's like Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt. Like those names are the
Christian
ones.
Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale and guys who early in their careers, like a guy like Christian Bale especially, and Christian Bale is also a crazy one because he actually even went to the superhero movies and made it out alive.
Yeah.
A lot of guys go into the superhero movies and that's it. They're
Yep.
superheroes now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talk about casting. Like if I'm a movie director, yes, I'm most likely going to think of a guy who played a similar character before and did a good job. That's like a compliment that you did a good job.
Right.
It's not like I get it as an actor. Like you want to be able to explore different projects. Of course you do. You don't want to be bored, but like it's not a bad thing.
It's like it's honestly very impressive for anybody in like a very successful long running TV show series to make it out of that series and be able to be in a movie.
Yeah.
Like John Krasinski had to just write himself into
I
a
would
role
say he
in order
had
to
to
make it
direct
happen.
a role to get mainstream. Yeah, no.
And it turns out he's good at it. He's a great
he's
actor.
good. Yeah, it is tough when you become like. That's the other thing about TV is because there's. So
I mean, how do you
long-running.
unironically put Rainn Wilson in any serious movie?
Exactly.
He's just Dwight. He's
Well,
just
that's because TV, you have from like the time The Office started till still nowadays because it's still watched on streaming services. That's the longevity of that character.
Yeah.
Like at least a movie's a one and done, and if the movie's really successful, like you could get tied to it. You know, people will think Tom Cruise. At least from my generation, people think Tom Cruise, and they'll immediately go Top Gun or Mission Impossible. Although
Tom
to be
Cruise.
fair, like that's kind of
I think Tom
he
Cruise is
does.
like he's like my guilty pleasure actor.
I
Where like
love
I
Tom
can't help it.
He rocks.
Like I know that
He's like the
some
last
of
true movie
are
star.
like I know that like a lot of the movies are like wow that could never happen. But like also at the same time like but it's sick.
you know what's crazy is
I love Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible is like one of my favorite movie franchises ever, and I
Same.
still haven't seen the newest one.
It's good.
I haven't seen the newest
Dead
one either.
Reckoning. It's good.
As of you know a few years ago when my life really started getting busy.
It's like the
I just,
sixth one, right?
I just no
I think
longer.
so. That's part one.
There
as well,
was so MI1, MI2, MI3. Then it goes Ghost Protocol. Then it goes
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. Then the one that came out after that was something about the Syndicate as well. And then this is number 7.
My favorite part about those
believe.
movies is seeing what car like paid for their spot in like the hero moment of that movie, because like it's so funny the different. Well, like even if you think back to X-Men, and I think this might be the first X-Men movie. There's a Mazda RX-7 is like the like paid vehicle that they're like showing off in that movie, and like it's really, especially looking at it. Especially looking at it later in life, BMW pays for a lot of. I think there's a lot of
Mission Impossible,
but the second Mission Impossible is like the opening sequence is like the part where
Mission Impossible 2 is like literally the only one that kind of sucks.
Him and that girl are like driving
agree.
together up the mountain.
John Woo directed it, so they thought it was gonna be really good, but it was just too weird. So.
And there's just like him and that girl are driving together like up the mountain. One of them's in like I think like a Porsche Boxster, and the other person's in a Audi TT. And like I've never seen this many shots of an Audi TT in my life.
The best car
like
scene.
the only purpose for that sequence was for them to get the money for the movie from Audi.
The best is I believe it's in Rogue Nation, but there's like I think they're in Italy, and I think it's a BMW, and they're just going nuts in that thing. Just
for which
drifting
one?
all over the place. I think it's Rogue Nation, and I believe they're like in Venice or Italy somewhere.
Is that the fifth one?
Yeah.
Road
Yeah,
Nation's
that
the
is
fifth.
no. That's
Yeah,
each one whenever they're in the old BMW, right?
Yeah.
That old BMW is a 87, 88 BMW 535 IS. That's my car. That's my BMW.
No, that's an incredible. That scene's incredible.
I loved that movie because it got to that part, and I was like, oh my gosh, my car is getting recognition right now. It was a sick green color.
The second one wasn't great because the first one is great because it's the intro to the series, pretty good twist. Second one was weird. Third one, you got Philip Seymour Hoffman, incredible
as a
villain,
bad guy,
ruthless villain, might I add, just ruthless,
no roof.
And then Ghost Protocol is where things kick off a little bit because now we're running outside the Burj Khalifa in Dubai like a real stunt. That's where all of a sudden the stunt thing became like Tom Cruise's thing. People could not stop talking about that.
He needed to spice it up a little bit. He was getting bored.
That stunt's insane, and that's also where they I think. No, that's the second time that they introduced the real like the masks or whatever. But they that might be the first one that has Benji in it.
Benji's in the third one.
He's in the third one as well.
That's where he makes his little mini cameo and he becomes a
that
constant.
one's great. The next one is incredible. The opera scene in Rogue Nation is one of my favorite movie scenes ever. Like the music playing to like them like trying to line up the sniper kill to like the high note in the opera or whatever. Like, are you kidding me? And then the newest one was pretty good because Henry Cavill was pretty sick. I mean, he like reloaded his fists in the bathroom and then like threw that guy through a window. And they actually jumped out of a plane for that one. Yep. What the heck?
Yeah, that's insane.
They're like pulling focus as they're on their backs falling from the sky.
Is insane. That is so. It's so cool. It's like, and then it even goes to like, whenever the stunts are real, you can feel it in the edit so much more. Like that's why Top Gun. The reason why that movie was so like emotionally jarring and like made your stomach hurt
the stakes are high.
Was because those people were actually pulling G's and getting tossed around. Like that, it's insane.
Yeah, man, that new Top Gun.
You feel it so much more. No actor is good enough to make you feel it like whenever they're just on ground. You know, it'll be good, it'll be passable, but no one's good enough to like act that out.
I need to watch that new Mission Impossible, man. I
do too.
It's streaming on.
I just can't stand it.
Peacock or Paramount. That's what we watched it. It's streaming on something. We watched it.
I do need to watch it.
Is it really? It's just like I'm telling you. Ever since the last few years, it's like a new Batman came out. Like things I would have just automatically. That? I watched like the first half of it on a plane flight, and I haven't
gone back to it either. Like
I was enjoying it.
So good.
I was enjoying it. I mean,
I really love that movie.
I'm very impartial.
I think it might be. I think it might be my favorite Batman, which is hard to say.
That's pretty disgusting.
No way it's mine,
really
good. Dark Knight Rises is my favorite. So.
It is. That is really good too. I mean,
that's also.
I'm Team Edward.
Heath Ledger.
I'm Team Edward, so I'm biased towards. I mean that sincerely in both ways. So like, because in Tenet, he's my favorite character in Tenet, the movie. He says a small little part is so great. So
he does a really good job. I think this movie's really good, but also it is hard to beat Heath Ledger.
The Joker,
the Batman, the Nolan Batman trilogy, and Christopher Nolan's my favorite director by far, but that trilogy is my favorite trilogy ever, and it is so incredible.
It is really good.
I love that trilogy, and I think that Christopher Nolan rocks. I need to get that. I need to watch that new Mission. There's been so many movies. I mean, the newest Harry Potter that came out, which I know it's not, it is. Some people have their opinions on it. I think it's fine. But the newest Fantastic Beasts movie, like I didn't watch that.
Did you watch the first Fantastic Beasts?
I watched the first two.
First two were great.
I don't think I ever watched the second one. I enjoyed the first one. I saw it twice.
I actually thought the first one was fine. The second was actually pretty good. I remember being like pretty excited about it because they went back to Hogwarts. They're playing on your emotions a little bit.
Right.
I didn't know they did that. I didn't watch that.
And then the third one I kind of heard sucked. But I didn't watch it. Like that's one that I would have automatically watched. I don't know if I told you this, Jason.
When is this Harry Potter show supposed to be coming out?
Who knows? Give it 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this, Jason, but for our anniversary this year, my wife got me and her tickets in June. We were going to Greensboro and we're going to see The Prisoner of Azkaban with a live orchestra.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I think I saw like advertisements for that. That sounds so.
I've seen clips of it here and there, and it's been like my dream to go watch one of these. Because basically you watch the movie on the big screen as it is, but all of the score is played by a live pit orchestra.
So cool.
Which is so cool.
Which is just awesome.
Well, because it's gonna you're gonna feel it.
Oh
so your
my
emotions,
gosh!
like, you're gonna
I am beyond excited. Like I think it's gonna be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some good. Like
That's
I was
awesome.
going back and listening to like the score of that movie in particular, and like there's certain scenes that I'm very excited about. But like from the get go, they start playing the da 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 da, and it's live orchestra. Like that's gonna be awesome.
I might just start crying.
I think it's gonna be pretty emotional. I think it's gonna be pretty emotional.
No doubt.
I'm pretty excited about that.
That's cool.
All right, well, guys, I got some tier lists for us to do.
Okay.
People wanted us to do more rankings, more tier lists.
Love rankings.
I got a couple. So we're going to start. Actually, we'll start with the quicker one. We're going to start with Gatorade flavors.
Okay.
And then we're going to move, and this is pretty quick. There's not a ton of them. Then we're going to move on to Disney and Pixar films. And that's going to be much more controversial.
I immediately have a story revolved around Gatorade flavors.
Well, let's hear it.
Can I go ahead and give my list? Do you mind if I do that?
No.
The way it works,
No. This is like the tier list websites. The way it works is I bring up a Gatorade flavor and then we drag it to its tier.
Yeah.
We need to agree on a tier.
Gotcha.
So the way we'll do it is, so this one, different tier lists use different rankings. This one goes S tier is the best.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So we're working together. I like that.
S tier is the best. Then it goes A, B, C, D, E. And then they have one for G. They go straight to G. And then there's haven't tried looks good and haven't tried looks bad.
Yep.
Okay.
If none of us tried. And I think we just need to find the middle.
Cool.
You know? For S tier, I think it has to be unanimous. Okay. Everything else, we kind of just try and find, a consensus.
Yep.
Okay. I'll wait till we get to the flavor to tell the story.
Okay.
So we're going to kick it off. These are really small fonts. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we go. We're going to start off. Let me just go with just orange. Orange. Okay. Just orange Gatorade.
Boom. We're there. You ready for my story?
That didn't take long.
Wow. That was
and
amazing.
we've arrived.
So
let's hear
a few years ago, whenever I worked at a Mazda dealership. Sorry.
Oh my.
I worked at a Mazda dealership doing detail work, and it's an awful place, terrible environment, absolutely. Everybody that worked there was a terrible person.
You were abused.
Yeah, basically, and
Not even basically,
but
you were abused,
Yeah,
mentally abused.
Yeah, and financially
Yeah.
abused. So basically, I did detail work there. Really enjoyed the work. Really enjoyed some of the people I worked with. Once you peeled back some of the ugly layers, they were nice guys, but the boss was a terrible person. And every morning I would come in and there was a vending machine. I also never knew when I was gonna eat lunch because no one really told me that I had a lunch break or anything. And also, I never knew what was going on. But anyway, so
It's the best.
I would go in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I would go over to this vending machine. And I'd be like, well, I'm not going to do anything all day because there was never anything for me to do. Anyway, I'm not going to
Nothing
get into
alleviates.
I'm not going to
boredom
get into this
like the allure
job.
of a vending machine.
This job was awful, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the Banter before. But so I would go to the vending machine, and I was like, what do I want to drink? I'm like, well, I don't really want to drink a Coke. It's early in the morning. And I don't really want a Mountain Dew. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. So I one day was like, I'm going to get a Gatorade. And the Gatorade on the thing was a red Gatorade. And I pressed it. Orange Gatorade came out. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't ever a huge Gatorade person.
Yeah.
I didn't play sports, so maybe that was it. But I take this cold orange Gatorade, and I'll get a pack of peanuts as well. Because also there was it was just candy bars in there.
I hope this
There's
isn't
no
going
breakfast
a Coca-Cola peanut direction.
No,
okay.
sir, it's not. You can go ahead and alleviate that.
I was just picturing that.
But there's no breakfast items in there. It's just Hershey's and Snickers. I'm not gonna eat that for breakfast, so I just get a pack of peanuts.
Fair enough.
Trying to be healthy, Gatorade and peanuts. And then I'd go back and I would sit in this cold leather chair with the shop bay open and me just being freezing and wet. And I would crack open this Gatorade, and every morning I would take that sip and be like, orange Gatorade is so much better than I thought it was.
Orange Gatorade is a kind of an under the radar Gatorade.
It is you never really think.
It's a little unassuming. People have very split opinions on this,
but especially whenever it's cold.
Because some people, and actually, what's interesting is some people tell you orange Gatorade tastes like cantaloupe to them.
That's interesting.
And if you drink it thinking that, you might get it.
I feel every Gatorade flavor is ambiguous enough where you can convince yourself of anything.
What are your thoughts? What are you thinking for tier level here? S,
orange?
A, B, C, D, E, G.
I think for myself, orange is probably my favorite, but for mankind, it'd be pretty criminal for me to say that. So I would give it a C.
I was also on C.
I was it'll do the job every time.
Well, for me, I would think it would be a B. But
B
okay.
tier. I could move it to B. I
Okay.
could. Yeah, because it's an original
it won't
flavor.
ever
there's
disappoint.
3 OGs, orange, lemon, lime, and fruit punch.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
So because of that,
love lemon lime, but also know that's kind of.
I'm totally okay with moving it into B tier.
Okay.
So we'll start there. Okay, good start, guys. Hey, that was easy. Nobody disagreed too much. There's gonna be more controversial flavors.
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
stick with the originals. Fruit punch. Fruit Punch Gatorades.
Is that the red one?
That's red.
It's not
red.
my favorite.
I think Fruit Punch is like the epitome of like it's fine Gatorade.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody really goes out of their way to pick Fruit Punch.
I think whenever I think about red Gatorade, I just think about like being sick. Because like every time you're sick,
what
you're like,
you had?
my
Red Gatorade?
parents were like, you need electrolytes, and they would just give me red Gatorade, and it's just
That's tough.
The other thing about red Gatorade, it stains your clothes as well. So
Yeah.
Red
stains
Gatorade
lower, so,
is
if you spill it or
it is serious business.
it's at least a C or D.
I would say
What do
it's
you guys-
C tier because I'm not willing to say it's like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Okay, yeah.
but it is definitely just like a meh Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think C tier is
It
good.
passes.
Okay.
It's passing.
And then we'll finish with lemon lime.
To me, that's an S tier because it's
Lemon lime-
It's an all timer.
S-tier?
Lemon lime is my
I'm a-
favorite. Or it used to be my favorite
It's
before
not my
I
favorite,
had my orange
but
encounter.
it's A or S for me because like it's the
Which one's
one that I
better,
get
A
the
or S?
most at races because
S
they
is the
mix
highest.
that the lighter color. It's lighter on your stomach ideally because the dyes.
I think lemon lime is one of the most refreshing.
Lemon lime is. I love lemon lime.
Gosh, dude.
We can go A. Like
I think
Especially like lemon lime out of like the
definitely A
sippy bottle. You know, like the bottle with like the jagged edges on the bottom and then the twist like top like sippy thing. Like,
Dude, when those things came out,
thinking
man,
about drinking lemon lime
set
out
a
of that
grip on
sippy
me.
cup. Oh, it's
I would
such
say-
a good memory.
that sippy cup, man.
I changed my mind. Apparently, I did drink a lot of Gatorade, and it was
Yeah, dude,
always
you're-
lemon lime.
There's
If we were
memories
going
are
on-
coming flooding back right
every
now.
time we would go on a road trip, like as a family,
Yeah.
like we went to the gas station, we're like picking out a drink. I would always get the lemon lime Gatorade out of the sippy cup.
You know what? It is the OG. I'm okay with putting this in the S tier.
the reason for me, if I think about what I want, if I'm like working out hard and sweating
Yeah.
a lot, the flavor I want
Yeah.
is lemon lime
because it doesn't
not
wear
too
you
heavy.
down. It's
Not
kind of the
orange
flavor
and
of
fruit
hard
punch.
work and sweat. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
is.
it
I'm okay
is.
with S tier. Are you okay with S tier?
I'm more
All right,
than
there's
okay
S
with it.
tier.
Lemon lime Gatorade is the official beverage of the Banter.
Prepare for an extreme opinion from me.
Okay.
Okay.
And you guys may not even have this flavor. The flavor, let me zoom in to make sure this is what I think it is. Yes, okay. So this flavor used to have a different name. Well, actually, maybe it's not the same one. Actually, that might not be the same one. Never mind. I don't think they have the one I was talking about. Prepare for not to have an extreme
Okay.
I'm
opinion.
prepared.
Okay, we're going to go on to another classic one, grape. Purple.
I'm not a huge fan of grape, period, like flavor.
Let me tell you what I feel about grape Gatorade. Is.
But I know a lot of people do.
And you know what's interesting? And we're going, all of these are like the normal version. This is not
Right.
the zero sugar.
Yeah.
Because like Fruit Punch, the zero sugar version is actually, I don't want to, be a flavor expert, but it tastes sweeter to me. Like it tastes better. I actually remember when they did the Tiger
The
Woods
orange
Gatorade.
zero flavor is not good.
No. Whenever they did the Tiger Woods Gatorade, which basically just tastes like juice, Fruit Punch is actually the best. It was incredible. Grape is a similar way. The zero grape is very good. The normal grape,
I
always
had the zero grape and I like it.
Here's
but
what I
don't
feel
love
about
the
grape
normal
is it's such a dark, deep purple, and you think to yourself, ooh, like, yeah, and then you drink it and you're like, there's not much there.
Right.
That was pretty
can't
watered down.
remember what it tastes like. I think I need to try.
Yeah, like my all-time favorite is not listed there because we didn't go special, but it's Frost Riptide, which is like
The
it's
white
like-
one, right?
It's like the white grape.
Yeah,
one.
that
Yeah,
one
they
is
don't
really
have that
good.
one.
That's
They have some of the other
That's
Frost,
still
but
my
they don't have
all-time
that.
favorite.
That
I don't know
one
if
is
they make it
really
anymore
good.
because
Like,
I've
it's-
switched
Yeah.
to Powerade
I
Zero.
think it's
now at
technically
this point,
white
but
cherry, isn't it?
not that one.
No,
I do not
Frost
like
Riptide
cherry
was like,
flavored.
it was
Spoiler.
like a light.
I would say,
purple.
I mean, D or it's C because it's just fine.
I would actually give it D tier.
D? I'm good
'Cause I
with
think
D.
it's underperforming for a grape flavor.
That's fair enough. That's a good
true.
analysis. Right.
I had to back out of that one and let people who were a fan
Yeah.
of grape.
When you drink
control.
grape, you think one thing,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
underperforms. To use Trevor's words. I
Well,
like
okay,
that.
so wait, which one? What the heck is that one? What's that guy? Oh, they do have my flavor. Okay. This is, I have a very strong opinion on this. This is apparently it's a Frost flavor now. It didn't used to be. Tropical mango. Have either of you had
Never
this
tried
flavor?
Never had it. Sounds intriguing, honestly.
This
sounds
flavor,
really sweet.
No, not really.
Okay.
It's just like a mango Gatorade.
Okay.
With like hints of other tropical flavors, I guess. But this
It's a pineapple.
one, yeah,
And
with a hint of
coconut.
pineapple, basically. This one is one that I would get on the way to work. When I worked at the one golf course I worked at, I would get it like every single time on the way to work, and it was my favorite Gatorade flavor, like all summer long, and I love it. It's very good. So since neither of you have had it, I don't want to be like, if you'll let me vouch for you, this is an A tier Gatorade.
Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't put it in the S tier. It is a very good Gatorade. But if
Okay.
either of you hate mango to death,
No. I like the tropical mango mixture. Definitely could be good in a Gatorade.
So, if you're okay with it, I'm telling you, it's a fantastic.
I'm thinking of it like flavor wise, just as a flavor. It sounds to me like it could be very legit. Like really as good. Like a refreshing beverage. Like I've been hot and sweaty. It sounds a little heavy for that, but that's why we got lemon lime up there.
That's right. Well, it's not.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay, I appreciate you guys are rational, and I appreciate that. Let's get on to a very controversial flavor.
Okay,
came out a while ago that I've still never had, but you guys may have, and this is lime cucumber.
Oof.
Have either of you ever had it?
I haven't had it.
No thanks.
No, you haven't. Okay, so we can put it in. Haven't tried it. Looks bad. Or haven't tried it. Looks good. Did either of you guys think it looks good?
To me, that looks bad. But that's a
looks bad to me as well.
It just because of what it is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm the kind of person that wants to be like, oh, that sounds wonderful. But like,
yeah,
also, but
I'm the same person too.
It sounds like the thing where like I would get it and be like, oh, isn't this awesome? Like,
and
it's
then you
lemon,
drink it and be like, this
it's
is gross.
lemon cucumber, and you take a few sips and you're like, it's interesting.
I don't. Yeah.
And then you're like, then eventually you're just like, no.
I wish I got Glacier Freeze.
There's a lot of times in my life that I've gotten a beverage and spent a lot of sips convincing myself I liked it. Am I right, Trev?
He's very right. He's incredibly right. Okay.
Pretty much every flavor of LaCroix, right?
So yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting that. All right. Let's move on to Glacier Cherry.
I don't like anything cherry flavored when it comes to drinks.
So here's the thing: is I do like cherry. I don't like Glacier Cherry. I think it's pretty. Nah.
I can't remember what it tastes like, so I don't care.
Okay, I would say it's a D tier.
Okay,
good with that.
Yeah, I don't really like Glacier Cherry. Okay, let's see. Where should we go next? I'm trying to stay away from some of like the big heavy hitters. Some of these I've just never had.
I'm scared if you stay away from the big heavy hitters, we might have already filled up our list.
What do you mean filled it up? You can't fill it up.
You can't?
You can have multiple on every tier.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sorry. You can have multiple on every tier.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
I appreciate you letting me know that.
What the heck is that? Let's go with Cool Blue. So this is the darker blue. I really like this Gatorade, but it is a polarizing flavor.
I like it for like a drink with a meal. So we're not for something I want after I've worked out, but it's like I would put that and drink it with any meal I have. So to me, it's a B or A tier for sure. Like it tastes good and it's a good compliment.
I would say it's A tier flavor. Connor, have you had this one?
I'm sure I have. I can't think of it, but whenever I think about the dark blue Gatorade, I don't have a bad reaction to it.
Okay, I think we'll go
A tier. Good. It was a favorite around my house with me and my kids.
I've always
for
very
years,
much liked Cool
I like
Blue.
the look of it. It's a nice color.
All right, let's just get this out of the way. Glacier Freeze, light blue.
I like it.
I don't have an opinion. So
really?
I'm good with S tier.
I think it's like a little bit. I think just like a little bit lighter flavor. I feel like.
I thought like that was going to be the one that everybody was ready to like talk about because Glacier Freeze in my experience that's like the Gatorade flavor you see the most often at the store.
Oh, is it?
At least if you're buying them in bulk, like it's one of the most common. Along with like after you get through the basic three flavors, Glacier Freeze is usually the one you see because I feel like it's very very popular.
I have no vote on it.
So I won't put it on S tier because but I will say this: if we tweet this list out and it's not on S tier, we're going to have problems. But I'm okay because you guys just haven't had it.
Should we put it in A then?
It's got to be an A tier.
Good.
It has to be an A tier. I'm just trying to protect you guys at this point.
I appreciate the protection.
I will say this list is shaping up in a way that our only S tier may be lemon lime. We're gonna get we're gonna get looked at pretty funny, but that's okay. That's okay. You know what?
Lemon lime is delicious, dude. If you think lemon lime isn't the best, you need to go get yourself a lemon lime Gatorade.
I will spare us.
You gotta get it out of the sippy cup. Do they still do the sippy cups?
I think they did a couple years ago, but I don't know if they still do.
I need one today.
So the only other flavor on here that I could speak on, I'll read them all to make sure you guys have it, but the only one I can speak on like for sure is the Arctic Blitz, which is the one we have in the fridge right now. That like greenish, bluish one.
I don't love that one.
I think it's like a C tier.
Yeah, I had that one the other day, and the
color looks so fun that you think it's gonna be magical.
It's not good. No, that's the one that I said it tastes like. It tastes like. Let me figure out a way to say this. It tastes like if you licked the hair gel of a teenage boy.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think it
like tastes like a sweet Axe body.
So we're calling that
like,
taste a
spray.
C tier, apparently.
Well,
So.
I feel like it's lower. I think
It's
whenever I
lower.
tasted it, I felt
Yeah.
like it was the
Have you
worst.
had it?
Yeah.
Okay, you think D tier as well?
At least D
I thought it was the
Okay.
worst. I thought it was the
At
worst
least.
Gatorade
Okay.
I've ever had.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't enjoy. I didn't finish it.
Should we throw it in the E tier?
E tier. It's our first
Yeah.
E tier.
You guys
yeah.
are you guys are strong about it. So
If
I'll,
Konner
the-
thinks it tastes like hair gel, it's definitely
It
E
was
tier,
the first
so.
Gatorade I tasted that I was like, I do not want this. Like, I do not like it.
Okay.
Usually Gatorade's like, there's enough sugar in it to where you're like, well, I mean, yeah, it's not great, but at the end of the day, it's got sugar in
So
it.
I'm
That
gonna-
one was like nasty.
I'm gonna read these other flavors because if I've had them like once or twice maybe, but see if you guys have any opinions. So first one we have here is citrus cooler, and it's like kind of a mango-ish
Oh,
color.
yeah. I like that one a lot, actually.
I haven't had
so.
that, but it sounds good.
Okay,
I like
well,
whenever it says cooler.
For me personally, that's definitely an A tier. Not
That's
an
an
S tier,
A-tier?
but it's an A tier. So
Okay, well, I
Whenever it
trust your
says
opinion.
cooler behind it, it makes
We've
me
all
excited.
agreed enough on things that I feel like if one person's had it, I can
that's
trust
me,
them.
that's a
So
C tier.
we'll put that in A tier. Okay, the next one is this one's another cherry one. It's a blue one though. It's blue cherry, which I think I may have had before, but like I'm not enough to.
I don't know if
vouch for it.
I can't think about that.
Then we have fruit punch berry. Never had that. It's like
What?
pink.
right.
Green apple. Have any of you guys had that?
No, that doesn't sound super nice to
It's
me though.
my kids loved it,
Okay.
but to me it was like between a B and C tier. If I had drank it, it'd
Okay.
be a C. It'd be a C tier for
Okay.
sure. So
Wait, you have had
oh
it?
yeah, I've had a lot of green apple.
Okay, so
it's
C tier. Okay.
just fine.
I like
sounds
apple
like
flavored
It
things.
sounds like a kid's Gatorade. It sounds very candy-ish.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Okay, C tier. Icy charge. This is a frost flavor. I've never had it.
never even heard of it.
What color is it?
It's like almost clear. It's very light blue.
Yeah.
Very light.
Oh, I know about that one. I like the frost ones. I just think they're refreshing because it's not like too.
Can you vouch for it? What do you,
I mean, I don't.
it's tough to remember a Gatorade
It
flavor if you
is.
haven't had it a lot.
It is
It
really
is.
tough. I mean, my mom used to get like but they were always the G2 frost ones, like the Gatorade Zero ones.
We need to do another segment like this with a different like line of beverages and have them all to try.
Yeah.
Imagine how much we'd have to spend on Gatorade.
If you're getting the
every single one of
Gatorade-
these would cost like $3.
Well, do you guys watch Pro ZD at all on YouTube? Do you know who Pro ZD is?
Oh,
So
yes.
he's a voice actor in
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
anime.
yeah.
But he does. Let's try every flavor of Pringles.
I love
Every
that.
flavor of
That's
M&Ms.
so
He doesn't
fun to
always
me.
do in one setting, but he goes through and tastes them, and he ranks them the same
Yeah.
way, like A+, A-, C,
That's
the best
S
way to do
tier.
things.
I'd love to do
He
that.
did. He's done Chipotle. He did Popeyes the other day, so it was good.
So we got the other
I
ones.
think that my advice for Gatorade is if you're ever buying the Gatorade Zeros, you just get the frost flavors. They're the best ones.
Yeah.
If you get their original flavors
well, except
and zeros,
for
it's
except for we
disappointing.
just handed out an E tier to one of our frost flavors, so that is not true.
Well, that is true. That one does. I've
There's
never had that
Landmine.
one. That one doesn't come in the Sam's Club.
it did come in the Sam's Club pack. That's where I got it from.
But that's not. It's not Gatorade Zero though.
It's true.
The
Right, you
Gatorade
were talking
Zero
about
ones
Gatorade
doesn't
Zero
come. The
specifically,
Gatorade Zero ones comes
so,
with I
yeah.
think.
Glacier Cherry comes with that one.
I don't know.
Well, like
I don't know
there's all
anymore,
kinds
dude.
of mixes.
I don't know.
That'd be a whole nother tier list. Is like the packs of Gatorade you can get.
I feel like I need to go grab one of those green ones out of the fridge right now and make you all try it. It's
I've
not
had it.
good.
Yeah, I've had a few of them. I drank one yesterday.
I
I
don't
don't have
like
nearly the gripe with it.
What? Dang,
Hunter really likes
says
it.
it's an
Wow.
A tier.
If Hunter was on here right now, we would have been fighting this whole time.
I thought y'all were doing a bit for the first half of that tier.
You're not on the banter.
Hey,
Not only are you not on the
Hunter is
banter, but you didn't want to
infuriated.
be on the banter last week, so you can shut your face. Yeah, we all do. Okay. The last few flavors are strawberry, strawberry raspberry, strawberry watermelon, and tropical cooler, but it's green. So
I
I've
don't
never had
think
any of it.
I don't know about the strawberry ones, but it doesn't sound like fun to me. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't it's okay. I think that wraps up our tier list. We will we'll post this out there. We'll actually need to tag Brody in this because if you've never seen Brody, like one of his most famous videos, to me at least, is his brother's Gatorade collection. Have you ever seen this?
no, I need to go watch that video. I need to go
So
look.
his brother, it's a very funny video. It doesn't have a ton of views, but it's a good amount. Basically, it's his brother. His mom makes him throw out his Gatorade collection because he would collect like their full bottles of Gatorade.
Okay, yeah.
Never opened. But he has like all these flavors. He would talk about how they would specifically go to gas stations to try and find these certain flavors.
That's
all these
hilarious.
discontinued flavors. And he's like saying goodbye to them and throwing it in the trash bag. It's really funny.
That's hilarious.
And it was so big that Gatorade got wind of it, did a bunch for him, and sent him Gatorade flavor with his face on
Oh
it.
wow.
And Brody has one in his house. And when he showed Hunter and I, we like freaked out because like that video was iconic to us, and he was like surprised how interested we were in it.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's our tier list. Pretty balanced. I mean, we have 1 S tier, 4 A tiers, 1 B tier, 2 C tiers, 2 D tiers, 1 E tier, and then 1 haven't tried looks bad.
I was excited. I felt good about this tier list until I heard Hunter's reaction, and now I'm scared for what people are going to do to us.
Who cares? No, people won't be that mad about that one. Yeah. The most people will be mad that are only S tier is lemon lime. Right? That is what people are going to get frustrated with. And because, I mean, to be fair though, if I were going to make the list, the only thing I would have changed is like I would have put Glacier Freeze in the S tier, but that's probably it. I mean, I agree with everything else.
It's very difficult because it's all based off of things that we like to taste and things we don't like to taste.
It's subjective.
It's so subjective.
It's completely subjective. That's why you can't, like, if somebody comes after the list, be like, well, that's fine.
Riptide Rush. That I had to double check. That's my S tier. It's the grape one.
And a great name,
it's a Frost.
too.
That is a good name.
Okay, this next tier list is going to be a bit longer and probably a bit more controversial.
Oh, no.
This is the Disney and Pixar films tier list.
Disney and Pixar. Okay.
We won't do all of them.
Okay.
We'll try to hit the because they have so many on here, but we'll try and hit like the big hitters. And they go S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier.
Okay.
That's the list. So they've got a pretty extensive list. It's not crazy.
No, it's not.
But it could be more. But we'll go through ones that I feel like are pretty common. And we'll start with Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original.
It's a great movie.
Snow White. I think we have to be reasonable with what our tier is. Like, we need to like define this tier. Like, I feel like S tier is like iconic, rewatchable forever. Like, when you think of Disney, you think of this movie.
But merit has to be given to the historical significance of it as well, though.
But that's why S tier to me, you said rewatchable. A tier may just be mostly the historical significance, because I think about Snow White was the first feature-length animated film. Walt Disney changed movies forever, so maybe it's an A tier for historical perspective.
I'm going based off of my enjoyment of the movie.
Fair enough.
I would say that Snow White for me is either a B or a C tier. I think it's a fine movie.
I think that we have to split the difference because I think because of historical significance, it has to be an S tier. So I think we should go A.
A tier for Snow White.
I'm with Konner on this because of the historical significance of this one.
Yeah. But that's but it's how much do you like the movie?
Is it that, or is it just ranking?
That's how we just did a tier list. We were like, well, Gatorade, because this is the first Frost flavor.
Well, yeah,
and it changed the Frost flavor.
But with like
forever. No, it's how much do you like it?
But with the drink, it's a little bit different.
Okay, Trevor convinced me.
No, but if you want to tell me that you legitimately enjoy the movie more because of its significance, that's fine. But like, if you can't just be like, well, I don't like that movie, but it was important for the time. That's not.
Yes, you can, because it's called a ranking, a tier list, not a satisfaction list or an enjoyment list.
If our tier list has, when people look at our tier list at face value, they're not going to know our rationale.
Right.
So we need our theme to be consistent. It either needs to be how significant was this to the industry?
I don't care whether people look at it. I care about right now in this moment.
No, but like for our arguments, we need to have a streamlined criteria. And if the criteria is how significant was it to the film industry?
It's still an A tier to me because it's the most impressive out of all of them because they did things that had never been done ever before.
That's fine.
They invented.
Are you going to say
they
can we go B tier?
invented technology? The movies after it were only possible because the technology they invented in that movie.
I mean, Konner's correct, but I'm still on Team Trevor here. That's our enjoyment of it. So
I don't think it's only enjoyment, but also I don't care enough.
But I agree it's a C or D, really, from a watching perspective. But from my enjoyment of it, it's C or D.
Because like the problem is like there might be.
I'm not gonna go just watch Snow White on my Saturday afternoon.
That's why it's lower on the tier list.
But the tier list is not only enjoyment of the movie.
That's what we are making it that way.
Well, who got to decide that we were making it that
with the tier
list? That's not fair.
Well, yeah, it is.
We voted as 2-1. Sorry.
That's democracy.
Well, I don't care. It's
because
stupid.
That's going to make it easier to absorb this tier list is if we just go on how much do you like the movie versus because we don't know that much about
I like the movie a heck of a lot because whenever I think about it, I think of the historical significance.
That's fair. That's fair.
What?
You're allowed to.
That's what I've been saying.
But you apparently don't like the movie a heck of a lot because you said you wouldn't watch it on just your normal Saturday.
But the reason why I would enjoy it is because whenever I watch it, I would think, wow, that's crazy that with the technology they had, they were able to accomplish this and this. Wow, look how she blinks there. That's something they didn't pay attention
fair.
to before.
Like, while you're watching it, that's what you're drawing. That's fair. I think we settle in the middle at B tier, and that is what it is.
Fine.
I mean, listen, we said we'd meet in the middle. Jason was said C or D tier. I
don't like it whenever somebody else gets to decide why I'm ranking something.
Two people did.
I don't like that.
Outvoted.
I should be able to rank it the way I want to rank it.
This is a group project. You
Exactly.
think your
you guys
opinion
don't
should
care
overrule
about
the
one of
rest
your
of
group
the group?
members. You're bullying one of your group members.
Oh my!
I don't like being bullied.
Wow.
You're not being a good group member because you won't agree with the majority. You need to.
Is that what being a good group member does? Is just agreeing with the majority?
Compromising with the majority.
I compromised.
We did compromise. We didn't just.
I said
force
I was
you
willing
into
to
a C or
compromise.
D tier.
No, my problem is not the spot we're putting on the list. My problem is the way that you're forcing me to view the list. That's why I don't like.
Okay. I mostly say that too because I feel like the opinion you just had of Snow White, we're not going to have that opinion from almost any other movie. So like it would just be a weird outlier on the list. Cuz like we're not going to get to WALL-E and be like and know all about the background of the special effects and how it was groundbreaking in the industry. So like I don't want Snow White to be way different in the list.
The thing
than
is
everything else.
that's fine. We can do that from now on. But you just lost the thing that I was interested in about these because I know the behind the scenes of a lot of these movies because that's the thing that interests me about the movies.
If you know them, then feel free to bring them up.
Okay.
Pinocchio is the next one.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, again, it's one of those things where like the impact of the character is really important, but I don't care about that movie.
I think Pinocchio has a good story.
Yep.
I think it's like pretty original. So like I'll give it a B.
I'd give it a B because it has some
give it
fun
an
songs
F.
as well.
If I don't care about the way the movie was made, then I don't think it's fun to watch.
Konner, now you're being negative.
I'm just saying that movie's not fun to watch for me. It's boring.
Okay, well if you think it's that bad, we'll move it down to a C tier.
Am I allowed to think of nostalgia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that nostalgia is like a number one contributor.
I don't like
to
it
enjoyment.
whenever that poor Pinocchio is on that island smoking the cigar and it looks like the life is being taken out of it. It doesn't make me happy.
That's fair. We'll
F.
bump it down.
F. Pinocchio's an F.
Well, we'll meet in the middle. The next one on here is Fantasia.
It's not a good movie at all.
I don't enjoy it.
I've probably seen it like one time.
Fantasia, there's scenes of it that are iconic to us, but the movie as a whole,
I don't get it.
So in D tier or F tier?
D.
F.
I'm gonna say D tier.
D. It's not like the worst ever, but
I want to save F tier for something real bad.
Okay.
Next we have Dumbo.
come on, Dumbo's that's an A tier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strong opinion on Dumbo.
It's not an F because that's fun. It's an elephant. Like that's cool.
Konner's
That's when
tier
the
is
elephant
only
can
is
fly.
A or F right now.
Well, I can only think about if it makes me happy or not. And Dumbo makes me happy.
Uplifting story.
It's an uplifting story. Yeah.
I would say Dumbo.
B tier. I'm gonna go with B tier.
I would probably put it in the B category. Where are you sitting?
It still feels kind of high because like I'm just not gonna go. Like I don't know if I'll ever watch that movie ever again.
When you have kids, you will watch.
Well, here,
Dumbo.
and no, I will say,
you will watch it. Well, you will probably watch it with your kids.
I will say this: it is important to not overrate some of these movies because we are going to get to some absolute bangers on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
So, like, that's fair.
Like we better be ready for Shrek.
I think, yeah, I'm ready.
If Shrek is in an S tier, I will literally break every single tripod
being
in this place
serious
in
right
half.
now?
'Cause
Yes.
Shrek's not Disney. or
Shrek's not a
Pixar.
Disney movie.
Oh,
Or
you're right.
Pixar.
DreamWorks.
Yeah, I was
Right.
like,
Okay, I'm
what
good
are you
then.
talking about?
I'm good then.
All right,
we're
we'll
all
make it a
good
B
because
tier.
I was about to riot about Shrek.
Yeah, no, Shrek would be S tier.
No, yeah,
of
it's
course it would.
DreamWorks.
All right, Bambi is next. I just actually watched Bambi recently.
It makes me sad whenever the mom dies. F.
It is really sad. And
It's a D.
I feel like it's not very
It might
good.
watchable,
But
it could do F for me.
I like Thumper though.
I do like
So-
Thumper. I'll give it a D.
Bambi's mom is an F. Thumper is an S. So I'll give it a C.
Okay, we're gonna put it in the D tier. All right, we gotta skip a few because there's a bunch I don't really care about. Cinderella,
Cinderella.
like ones I've never heard of.
Like what? Name some.
Some of them are in Spanish completely, and then
Oh.
Fun and Fancy Free.
I'm in Fancy Free. Come on.
I don't know.
Jason,
about
you've
that.
probably seen all of these.
I've seen them all multiple times. We're
Yeah.
a Disney family.
I know
for
that's
sure,
why
so-
we're doing this for sure. But we're gonna skip to Cinderella. Here's what I'll say about Cinderella: is the
Doesn't do
story
it
of
for me.
Cinderella is pretty iconic. Also, some of the music is
Yeah.
bippity boppity boo. Come on.
It's definitely it's a firm B tier for watchability as well.
Yeah,
so.
I would say it's B or A. It's pretty high up there.
I can't separate the impact that it has had on this world. Think about all the things that have stemmed from a Cinderella story, Prince Charming, like all the things stem from that storyline, and I'm not allowed to think about that.
No, you're allowed to think about it. We'll give your impact a 15% weight on the final.
That is just ridiculous. That is I can't be a part of this anymore. This is ridiculous.
No, all right, 20%. We'll give it a 20% weight.
The Cinderella, the actual storyline of Cinderella, it's fine.
Well, the actual storyline is
it's
what.
no Avengers.
What do you mean? The actual storyline is what attributed to these things you just mentioned. Cinderella story. Like, that's why people say, because the story was well crafted.
Well, I guess then.
It's a well crafted story. Clock strikes midnight.
S tier then. I'm saying it, but.
I would say
I'm thinking about impact then, though.
It's definitely A tier.
Because I was going to say S tier because the storyline was so good that they had to recreate it so many times, but I'm not allowed to think about the impact.
No, but that's a little bit different, though. Like, that's literally the story of the movie you're talking about, not just how it was made. That's the actual. Like,
if there was no how it was made, then the movie wouldn't exist. I would say that's a little more important. This is the reason why it's a movie, not a book. So you would say the book, the stories, the screenwriting. Okay, so you would say the script is good, right? But we're rating the movie though.
We're rating the movie,
which product,
was inspired by folk
We're rating
tales,
the completed product, not how it was made and in what time in history it was made.
I still don't get that. I don't understand.
Like, that's like the difference.
I think it's a good movie.
We talk about the impact.
Trevor.
Okay.
The Cinderella, I enjoy that movie. I like that movie.
Okay.
Put it wherever you like.
Did you just tranquilize your brain just
yes.
then?
Mm-hmm. I tried to do it with the whole Bambi Thumper, the mom thing, but I got worked up again when we got to Cinderella.
Well, that's okay. We like it. I think it's A tier. We good with A tier?
Yes.
Okay. Alice in Wonderland. Talk about a weird film.
I like Johnny Depp.
This is not that. This is the animated one.
Okay.
So like this one doesn't really do anything for me.
Oh really?
So
wow.
I like how creative it is.
Well, because I haven't seen it a lot.
Oh,
That's
okay.
mostly why.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys take the floor here.
I like how creative it is, and it's
creative.
like a good enough storyline that's trippy enough to where it could still be recreated today.
Did this come from a book?
And it doesn't feel outdated.
Yeah. Almost all of most of Disney's
Well, they're
stuff are
inspired
inspired by
by
their
books.
stuff.
The
I
storyline-
don't know if it came from a pure book. So
I like
right.
it because the storyline
'cause-
can't really be outdated because it's so weird and trippy that
Pretty
like
wacky.
it would work no matter
Like
what
what the heck is
century you're
a
in.
Cheshire cat?
Cheshire?
Cheshire cat. What the heck is that? Is
I
it
don't
Cheshire
know.
or is it Cheshire?
I think it's
Cheshire.
Cheshire.
Worcestershire.
Cheshire.
I think it's Worcestershire.
Cheshire.
W sauce.
To me, it's a B tier because it's a rewatchable movie. We
Yes,
watched
sir.
it a lot.
You guys are good with B tier?
I like B tier.
Okay.
I
Here's-
like the live action one.
Okay, this one's pretty big. Peter Pan.
I like Peter
Peter
Pan.
Pan's A tier.
I think this is A
For
tier.
rewatching, it's an
Yeah,
A
I like
tier.
an S. I'm
It
almost,
may be
I'm
an
almost
S
S
tier.
tier.
I think I'm
Peter
S tier.
It
Pan.
may be S tier. Yeah, I'll go with
I
S
mean,
tier.
there's swords. Captain
Yeah.
Hook is dope.
I mean, the story of Peter Pan and Captain Hook.
Mr.
rocks.
Schmeed, are you kidding me? Mr. Schmeed.
It's just
Smee.
Shmee.
There's no D on there.
It's just me.
Is it really?
Yes.
Why did I think it was Schmeed?
I don't know.
I don't know.
F tier. Just kidding. There's no
Lady
D.
in-
F tier.
Lady and the Tramp.
That's an.
The only thing I know about this movie is that they do the spaghetti thing.
I like Lady and the Tramp.
It's an S tier for me.
I
and my
rewatched that
family,
movie a
so
lot
we
as a
watched it
child.
time, so
I've probably seen it once, and all I know about it is the spaghetti thing. Sell me
I
on it.
rewatched that movie a lot as a child, mainly because
Okay, so what do you think about it?
I like it. I think it's a good movie.
Where would you
A
rate
tier?
it?
A tier, yeah.
A tier.
Okay, I'm fine. Listen, I'll take the back seat. I'm not S tiers. I think need to be reserved for like we've all seen it, we've all loved it. But if A tier, I believe you, and I love that scene, the spaghetti. Come on, that's that's iconic. Sleeping Beauty.
I don't like
This is
it.
an
I'm
old
not a
one.
big. The movie itself
Weird.
is like a C or D tier.
Were they
It's
the
not a
first? They were
rewatchable.
the first ones to do like the True Love's Kiss Wake Up situation, though. Were they the first ones to do that?
No, I mean Snow White does that.
the Snow White did that first.
because Prince.
So
Charm-
Sleeping
not
Beauty
Prince Charming,
basically
the
just
Prince.
stole Snow White.
Well, you're just looking at its specific movie, not the impact. Right?
Now the movie Maleficent.
I'm not looking
That's
at the
an S tier,
impact of the movie.
but-
I like the Maleficent movie as well.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of too.
But
just
the
thinking
actual
about Sleeping
animated
Beauty,
movie, I think I watched
don't-
once ever.
I don't
with my
really
kids
like it that
because it
much.
just didn't stick. So that's a D tier.
I do
tier.
remember seeing it as an adult and thinking, I don't like this movie.
Right.
D tier.
D tier.
D tier.
Okay. 101 Dalmatians.
S tier.
That's a great movie.
Pretty good.
Love that movie. Corella Deville. Does that have a D in it? or is it
Pongo,
Aville?
Perdita.
What are
S
you
tier.
thinking, Connor?
I like that. I like all the
willing to S
Dalmatians.
tier it?
I like the way that the dogs make me feel, so I'm gonna give it an A.
I would give it A as well.
A? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not willing to put an S tier. Let's go Jungle Book, the original Jungle Book.
I like the Jungle Book.
This one's darn.
Woo, woo, woo.
The
I want to
music
walk
is-
like you.
Yeah,
woo,
the
woo.
music is pretty.
Yeah, the music makes it an A tier, not an S tier. It's not one I rewatch a lot.
All right,
Okay.
A tier's good.
A tier's
The
fine.
music's
I watched that one a lot as a kid.
What I desire is man's red fire. I know a lot more words to that song than I thought I did.
The Aristocats.
I like that movie. It's fun, but I don't think about it often.
Yeah.
Is this Cats the musical? Is that the same thing?
No, sir.
No, they're very different.
I'm just kidding. I haven't really seen this much.
Down with the
What do you guys
sickness.
think?
C.
Probably
It's
C
fine.
tier.
Does the
C tier.
job.
To my wife, it'd be an S tier. She loves Aristocats, and my kids liked it.
I
but
think
for
it
me,
passes. It's not
Alright,
bad.
let's-
It passes. So
Let's
it's a
skip
C.
around a little bit. Fox and the Hound.
I like Fox and the Hound. I
do
like
a
his
lot.
droopy
That's-
ears.
yeah.
My wife and I really liked Fox and the Hound.
Well, that's just because you guys had a basset hound.
It's true. That was a big reason why. When that dog goes woo woo woo, and then like you have a dog that
I'm
also
a hound
does that.
dog. Oh. Yeah.
I think it's a cute movie. I like.
I would give it a B or an
while.
A.
B.
Are we okay with
Do a B.
B? Okay. Let's move ahead a little bit. If you see me skip one, Jason, that you're so adamant about that you just cannot even fathom it, that's fine. You can speak up. The Little Mermaid.
Little
S tier.
Mermaid was my favorite Disney movie.
It's
Pretty
Maybe just because
fantastic.
I
movie.
felt seen as a redhead. Maybe that was it.
Yeah. I mean, the music is.
To me, it's an S tier.
Yeah.
Even the movie is an
I
S
think it's
tier,
an
but
S tier.
especially the
I think it
music
is.
helps make it an S tier.
And the storyline. Are
It's
you
pretty
kidding
original
me?
Right.
storyline. She steals her voice. Gotta forget.
Right.
Yeah.
Versatile.
Kiss the Girl is in that.
Yeah.
Like the songs are crazy.
Yeah, you see
Under
her
this. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
S tier. Forget
sitting
about it, guys.
there across the
Beauty and the
way.
Beast.
S tier.
S tier.
Yeah.
S tier all
S
the way.
tier.
Not the
I
live
mean,
action though. Didn't like the
No,
live action.
we don't want to talk about that. We're
No.
not
Well,
doing any live
I
action here.
I like most of the live action except for the Beast. Why did they make him out of computer game?
This list is gonna be chock full of S tier. Aladdin.
S tier.
I like that. I like
would say
Robin
it's A
Williams.
tier. It's darn near
It's S tier all the way. Like to me,
I think-
every bit of that movie is.
What do you
I
think,
think-
Connor? I'll let you decide.
I'm going S tier.
Okay, I'll give it S tier. We're just
because
Is it
of
okay
everything, Robin, the music.
Am I allowed
the
to think
story.
about it? Am I allowed to think about Robin Williams?
yes.
Thank you.
You're allowed to say anything you want.
Here's a fun fact. Do you guys know who directed the Aladdin live action
Christopher
movie?
Nolan.
No.
That's a joke.
Guy Ritchie, who's known for
Really?
like British
What?
crime movies.
Yeah, I love
that's
Guy
crazy.
Ritchie.
I didn't
directed
know
the
that.
Aladdin, which is
I
like,
thought
wow.
the live
It's
action
pretty
movie
good.
was really good. I thought it was one
It's
of the
pretty good.
best.
It's actually pretty good.
recreations.
Well,
Yeah.
man, we're about to like this stretch.
I like that the storyline was different.
Yeah.
The stretch of
then-
movies
yeah,
we're
it's
on
enough
right now,
different, yeah.
where there's about to just be S tier
S,
after
S,
S tier after S tier because
That's
Lion
fine.
King is next. S tier.
Yeah, but it's really sad whenever his dad dies.
Are you gonna overrule us?
It's really sad whenever his dad dies, and also it's very unrealistic, and it makes me feel uncomfortable that the lions can talk.
But there's a genie in the.
But
other
in Jungle
movie.
Book, it's okay. They can talk.
Yes,
Okay.
Jungle Book is okay.
Are you about to not give Lion King an S tier?
I'm
Like, if
I
you
have to
genuinely don't believe it,
I have to
that's
be
fine.
honest with you. I want to react out of spite right now because my feelings are hurt.
But if you weren't to react,
My wife hates The Lion King. She said no child should have to watch The Lion King
But
Yeah, it's a
What?
crusher.
because it makes her sad. She never saw it as a child, and then she watched it as an adult, and then she said, "This movie is so sad. Why do people watch this?"
did she watch the rest of the movie
I
after?
really like Lion King. I really like.
That's
it. I really
okay.
enjoy it.
Okay, there you go. We got
I like
the real
Pumbaa.
Con- We
I
got
like
the real
Pumbaa a
Connor.
lot,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
Lion King is an all timer.
Well, and Pumbaa.
Pocahontas.
I like Pumbaa a lot.
Have you ever watched Lion King 1.5, where it tells the whole story from Pumbaa and
Yeah.
Simone's?
Yes,
Yes.
I love that.
Fantastic.
I love that
It's
so
so
much.
good. Pocahontas is next.
Pocahontas is fine.
It's a C tier.
It's a C tier for
Has
sure.
some-
For sure.
There's that one good song though.
Right.
Okay, C tier.
That song can maybe make it a B tier, but it's
We
a C
may
tier.
have.
Don't you dare! You're not allowed to think of the historical inaccuracy of it, Jason. It's just on the movie, okay?
Thank you for clarifying that, Connor. I did not realize I couldn't do that, but I'm glad that you
are
clarified
allowed.
that
No, you're
for
allowed
me.
to talk about the historical inaccuracy of the story.
Oh,
Yeah. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's a darker movie than people realize. If you rewatch Hunchback,
yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
pretty
dark.
crazy.
And so, but it's a B tier for us in our family. We like to be.
I don't
enough
remember
for-
it very much. It
but
was
it's
like my
pretty dark.
sister's favorite movie, but
It's
I don't
pretty
remember it very
good,
much.
honestly.
Good music again. Like a lot of that string of movies has
It
such
is
great
pretty
music.
dark. Like,
But it's the theme and the story because of the It's a B tier for me. Like it's rewatchable, but not like
yeah,
a ton.
I'm okay with B tier.
I'm okay with that.
This one I'm very passionate about.
Okay.
Hercules.
Oh yeah,
Hercules is S tier by a million.
This is that
1,000,
Medea
like-
movie, right?
Yes.
Hercules is definitely S tier. So.
Bless my soul, Herc is on a roll.
I like Hercules a lot. It's very entertaining.
Danny DeVito. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean that movie just rocks.
Yeah.
Man, it rocks. And who does who plays Hades in that movie?
Oh, James Woods.
Yeah.
Isn't it James Woods?
That movie's
it
also
is.
very historically inaccurate.
I appreciate that.
Very good con.
But I'm not thinking about that. I like that movie a lot.
Do you have something you'd like to say to me?
I've already said it all. You said I'm not allowed to think it.
Since we've gotten like 30 movies in and it really only stumbled on one movie with this, and I feel like it's brought up a lot of bad feelings, we're going to let you consider it for Snow White. And from now on, you can consider
So I
whatever you
can't
want.
change it from Snow White?
No, you can.
Oh,
We can move Snow White up to A tier,
okay. Thank you.
and you can now consider whatever you like.
I appreciate that.
Okay, there we go. Mulan.
That's an S tier for me. I love Mulan.
I like.
S tiers.
I think
I
Mulan's
know, but it's
fun.
Disney and it's Pixar, and I'm biased. I will fully admit. So
Gosh, dang it, dude.
make a man out of you. I mean, come on.
That's true. Is one of the
Ming Na
is a
Wen as the
very
actor.
I feel like the
song.
best way to actually make
I
this
love
list
Mulan.
is to like make the whole thing and not do any S tiers, and then get to the end and pick like a couple to be S tiers. Because like if you really thought about like the Disney S tiers, you could just be like Lion King, Toy Story.
Almost half of Pixar. If we get to Pixar, like half of Pixar
yeah,
is going
there's
to be very close to
Pixar.
I like the
Pixar.
part in Mulan where they're all
Finding
climbing
Nemo.
up that pole and they fall on each other. I think that's fun.
Mulan could be an A tier. I mean, we love Mulan around our house, and we love that.
Connor,
soundtrack,
you sound like you're
so-
more on like the A tier, B tier track.
Yeah, I like.
I'm good
I
with-
like
Okay, we'll eat
Mulan
A tier.
fine.
Tarzan.
I like Tarzan a lot.
That's an
One of
A
the
tier.
best soundtracks.
Phil
ever.
Collins. It has to be an
Phil
S.
The
Collins.
soundtrack makes it an S tier. The
It's like-
movie is an A tier.
It's not
So I'll
fair.
let you
It's really
guys-
not fair because it's not a Disney soundtrack.
No.
Because they just got Phil Collins. to do it.
Right.
They
It's
had
just
Phil
not fair.
Collins just make some of his best songs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's insane.
not even some of just his best songs ever.
Yeah. Emperor's New Groove.
You know,
I really
it's,
love that movie.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's not an S tier, but it's really good.
I
It's a
would-
raw tier.
I'd give it an A tier
A-tier.
because like out of all of them,
Yzma and Kronk are so funny.
because I think with a lot of these nostalgia takes over a lot. With Emperor's New Groove, it's just like no, it's just a funny movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
All right, let me start skipping ahead because this is taking forever. We're gonna hit like the really iconic ones and skip over.
We haven't gotten to any like newer ones.
Those are kind of all towards the end of the
Okay.
list. Princess and the Frog. That's like a mainstay Disney princess movie. So I feel like I have.
That movie doesn't quite do it for me.
I've never watched it.
It would be an S tier if we all had watched it, but I'm okay with whatever. To me, it's an S tier. The soundtrack, the story, everything.
Connor
about
said it
Princess
doesn't
and
really do it
Frog.
for him.
I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever seen the original Princess and the Frog. I was thinking about the. Wait, no, there's only one.
there
There's only one animated movie. If my daughter Hannah had been born after this movie, she would be named Evangeline from that movie. Folks who've seen that understand there's a song about Evangeline.
I have seen
But I
that movie,
love
and I
Princess
remember
and the Frog.
watching it. I've only seen it once, and I remember thinking, but I probably wasn't in the right mindset, you know.
So
Connor, don't apologize.
No, like I'm sure that I was probably
A tier
stupid
or B
idiot.
tier?
I think it has to be B tier.
okay, B tier based on the voting there.
Okay, let's find some more like really iconic
mean,
ones.
if I
Frozen.
Frozen's
Frozen's a big
S-tier.
hitter.
S tier. Come on.
I feel like Frozen
you
for
feel?
me as a person.
Its impact on society is
Acts
S
of
tier.
it's hard-
true
it's hard
love,
with
but it's
movies.
not the true love you thought.
It's
Spoiler.
hard. It's hard for movies.
The
that,
songs.
Can't spoil Frozen.
It's hard for
know.
movies that like come out while I'm an adult. You know.
I think we were like in high school when that one came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember being when that was in its mainstay. I remember being at like a winter camp.
It's hard. It's hard. So this one is actually one that I have to choose not to think about the social impact that it had, because then I would.
Oh, okay.
Because then because
Right
it's not,
after Trevor gives you
Yeah.
permission.
no, because that
you
one's not
choose
fair to the movie. You know, it's
Yeah.
different if it's a okay movie.
Yeah,
being
you can't
dragged
just be
up by
like,
its
oh,
historical
people are
impact.
annoying about. But you can. I gave you
Exactly, 'cause
permission.
people
You were
were
allowed
anno-
to think about that.
But I
now.
know. I think that's not fair to the movie. I think it is fair to the
No.
movie. No, listen to me, Trevor. I think it's not fair to a movie that's like okay, like but if it's being dragged up by its historical impact, I think that's important. But for a movie that like they did a good job making the movie, but it's kind of being dragged down to like a bunch of people who are singing like, "Do you want to build a snowman?" That's really freaking annoying.
Yeah.
And also like, oh gosh, and I forgot that what's his name.
Hans
From,
and Kristoff.
No, the guy from
Josh Gad.
No,
Lin-Manuel.
no, the one that drives me crazy. the guy from what's that band?
Oh my god!
I mean,
I have no idea where you're going right now, Konner.
what are you talking
Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
Brendan Urie did like a cover of that one song. Into
That
the
has
Unknown.
nothing to do with it.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now, to be
that.
honest.
I hated
so.
it so much. I don't like Brendan Urie.
I hope the
So,
viewers revolt
Frozen's
if this
an
isn't
F.
an S tier because
Frozen's
Frozen
gonna have
is a
to be an F just for
no-brainer
Brendan
S tier.
Urie.
Like it's a no-brainer S tier.
Yeah,
Like, it's without
it's a
question.
good movie. I like it, and I think that Olaf is a really fun character.
Because there's so many different things and so many different storylines. There's
No, you're right.
There's love.
and
there's figuring
it's
out your way
crazy.
along.
We finished each other's sandwiches. That's a great song.
There's
really fun
there's
song.
mysticism. There's
S tier.
magic. There's all those things.
S tier. Frozen's
Okay.
an S tier.
Moana.
Frozen 2, not an S tier.
Moana.
I like the chicken a lot in Moana, but I don't really like that it has The Rock in it because I don't love The Rock. I just gotta say it.
I like the rock in that, but it's an A tier.
I would give it A or B, but Connor doesn't like it, so we'll go B.
B.
I like B.
That's
I like
fine.
B. I like the chicken a lot.
I don't rewatch Moana. It's not one I would just throw on and rewatch a lot, but it's
Yeah.
B tier's good.
Okay, let's quickly knock out Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
S tier. And if they're not an S
And
tier,
we're not even going to talk about 4.
We have to. 4 is so good.
I hated it.
What?
Yeah, I didn't like 4.
It was so good.
4 is the 4. Like it's the.
What do you mean?
fourth for a
You've never
reason,
seen
so-
it, Hunter?
I refuse to watch it. I was told it was crap.
Well, then that's not fair.
It's not
You can't
crap,
talk about
it's
it.
just- it's like a totally different Toy Story story.
It's so
entirely.
good. It's so good. What you like? If you are, you have to
If Toy Story 4 was the
accept the
only Toy Story
storyline
movie,
for what it is.
if it was like,
Yeah.
if that was the first of them, I would. It's the fact that it departed a lot
Yeah.
from the trilogy, and even 3.
Yeah, but they would have had to just
started
keep on
to do
making the
that,
same movie over and over again. It's the only way to go. Or
or
they
just
stop
don't make,
making
or
movies.
or just don't make them.
I thought it was a
or
wonderful-
don't make them
leave a
right.
trilogy
I
alone.
thought it was
Well, I
a
mean, the
wonderful
third
movie.
one closed the chapter perfectly, crying your eyes out at the end of the movie, and then they make a fourth, and we're like,
Yeah.
but I already closed this chapter.
It was a-
so
It makes
now
sense.
you're opening
So I watched the movie as a person that was like, I had seen the movie, the first 3 movies, and I enjoyed them, but I wasn't like rewatching them every year and like super invested in them. I just knew they were really great movies and liked them a lot. And then I watched this as just like an additional. Oh, I'm gonna watch another Toy Story movie, and with that, because I haven't recently watched Toy Story 3 and felt the emotional attachment. So watching Toy Story 4, I thought it was a wonderful movie, and also all of the visual effects and CGI and animation in that movie is so insane that it boosts that movie to even higher. The storyline is good, but the animation is even more incredible.
If I were to rank like the Toy Story movies, in my opinion, 1 and 2 are S tier, 3 is A, and then I haven't seen 4, so I can't talk about it. That's the way I would do it.
If one has to be an S tier, it 100% has to be to me, because the storyline is so good. So many people fell in love with it, but also I'm allowed to talk about historical significance
You are.
now.
You've
They invented a lot of important
again.
technology. They were the first people to be able to do animated light diffraction properly, and that's the reason why that's the reason why.
You're like 1 in a million.
I'm literally million. There are millions of people that watch Corridor Digital who would all know about this technology, and like they're
Right,
yeah,
but there's 100 million people that watch the movie. I'm saying like
Yeah.
you are one of the few people that watch that and think about the animated light diffraction.
I'm one of the few people that watch it and think about it, but I'm one of the everybody that watches it and feels it.
That's true. That's true.
You will never be able to tell those differences
we-
with your eyes, but you
So
will
I have
feel them by watching.
I have an F tier off there we can talk about if you want to.
okay.
The Good Dinosaur. Have y'all seen The
No,
Good
I haven't
Dinosaur?
seen it.
See, it would be an F tier.
Okay.
So
There you go.
The only Pixar hit that's
F
the
it.
only Pixar movie that's ever been. It's just fine. So
We are going long. We need to wrap it up, and I will say it's going to get redundant because as I look at the rest of this list, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Cars, Incredibles, Ratatouille, there's just S tiers
Yeah.
everywhere. We're about to get to a stretch of
Can
Pixar.
I ask a question?
Yes.
Is Up a Pixar movie?
Yes. Another S tier.
May we talk about that?
Yeah.
I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
it's an S tier.
S
no.
tier.
I mean, the first 6 minutes of the movie are probably an S tier by itself.
We were about
Yeah.
to get to a stretch where it's just S tier after S tier
But I
after
just
S
wanted to
tier.
bring up that
So,
I really like the movie Up.
Yeah.
there's just a whole basket of eggs when it comes to.
What about Planes
Pixar
2?
and Disney. Was there a second
Planes
one?
2 versus Planes. Yes, there is a second.
I never
Planes,
watched either of them.
It's a C or D tier.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those classic, like the storyline sucks, but they keep on having creative things in it that's like fun.
There you go. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed the tier lists.
I can't tell if I did.
It definitely. I think we definitely, it's tough to make a tier list whenever you have 3 people. You know, that's just the nature of the thing. But I think we did okay. We held it on together. We had a rough patch there, but we
were
held on.
very unified with Gatorade.
Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah, the Gatorade one, I'm like not scared of getting death threats if I post. The Pixar one, I think no matter how you spin that list, you're gonna get death threats. Because like somebody's gonna see Pocahontas as a C tier or something like that and just freak out at us. Sleeping Beauty is a D tier. You guys are idiots. Like it's people get. You do not want to mess with the Disney folks.
This is true.
I'm telling you that for free. So we're gonna roll the fancy die here. Gosh, dude.
The fancy do die.
You know what's really fun is, and I didn't do it this week because they do live tier lists where you can vote on each tier and then it shows you what the people are voting on as well. I didn't pick any of them because they were all food related, and we talk a lot about food on this podcast.
We do talk a lot about
but
food.
We will bring it back. If we bring back tier lists, we might do one of those because I think it's fun to be like, this is where we put it, and this is where America is putting it.
That's
the world
fun.
is putting it into tier. They had one just specifically for French fries. I thought was a pretty good time.
That's fun, yeah.
All right. Big Con.
Thank you. Here we go. Roll time.
Roll call.
Roll time. Right?
Roll time.
Right, Jason? Roll time.
Roll Tide.
How do you feel about your chances in the March Madness?
Not very well. They're playing really, really, really bad
I
right
clicked
now.
something. I accidentally pressed fade to black whenever I did that. Stop. We're good.
You were like, oh, the podcast is over. Who got picked?
I got Trevor.
And I bet you Jason's going to roll Jason. Nice throw.
I'm sorry. I threw with my left hand.
Who's going to grab that?
I'll
get
get
it. I'm close. I don't like getting that close to that rug. I don't like being that close to it. It's Jason.
Whoa, come on. Hit him with it.
Konner, me, and Jason are rolled, I think, have rolled more than 50% of the time in that exact combination.
I hadn't been on in like a month, so I went to see how many I've been on, and there was like 4 weeks in a row. But when we first started rolling, like when the die came out, thank you again for that. I got rolled 4 weeks in a row.
We were looking at it yesterday, and like you and me, and frankly Konner, are biased to an extreme amount on this thing.
Right.
To the point where I'm not convinced this guy didn't create a loaded die. And now that I kind of feel it, this thing's loaded.
It feels loaded?
It's loaded because like
Careful, man. Make sure the safety's on.
Brad, Hunter, and Silas, you never see them.
Yep.
It's me, you, and Konner. And look at that. We're all on one side.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
The die.
That is true.
The other that just does it for me. Speak up. What's your name?
Scott Cash, right?
What if we just
Scott
one
Cash.
day
We're
just
on you,
changed it
Scott.
and say if Connor's rolled, then
there's
it's
Konner.
Silas. If Trevor's rolled, then it's Hunter. And if we just like swap, what if we just swap names?
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit here for the next hour and just roll it and document each name.
I think it's good. You had to roll it 100 times.
How do
so
you?
get
How many dice rolls do you need to establish a bias?
probably at least 100.
Like, what's the number?
That way you have like a good
100.
percentage.
But on a 6-sided die, I feel like you need 600.
Okay.
1,
Report back later.
100
So-
100
Hey,
probably give you a
Silas.
good idea.
2,
Hey.
3. I'm just gonna keep going.
Just do
until
10.
600. Okay, now it's being it's
Silas,
spreading the
Hunter,
love.
and Brad right in a row.
Are you kidding me?
No, that was the second one.
Oh, you were
It
the
was
second one.
me.
Okay, yeah, it was okay.
Hunter hasn't rolled. Silas again.
Silas again.
Wow.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not loaded. It just did. I
It's
just
not
want
loaded.
us.
It's
Comment
not
down below
loaded.
if you like Gatorade.